Hi everyone and welcome. I'm Marcie Besecker, an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up, and I'm from Clovis, California. Thank you for joining me on this Sunday evening. It has been a great day here. Our youngest flew in from Montana, so we got to visit. They actually have a second house about an hour north of us because they do bees, and so they bring them to California to pollinate, like our orchards, our almond trees and things like that. And then in Montana, they make honey. So they're here. Hubby's been here for about a month, I think. And so our youngest, Catherine, and the youngest two boys came, and they're here for a little over a week. And then they'll be flying back. So we got to see them today. So that was exciting. So other than that, it's been a fun day. I am going to give a small sneak peek of the wildflower birthday class because somebody asked me and I said no, but I decided, okay, I'll give you a little peek. The class is closed, but the good news is that I have another class coming, so I'm going to share that with you in just a minute. Okay, so we have bingo on the 19th. I believe I have something like 14 kits left, so if you are interested in playing bingo, if you're not available on the night of the 19th, it's still a great project. You'll get 4 kits, you'll have the video, so it's kind of like a class, except it is online. It's not a private video, and but it's a lot of fun. We have 4 great projects coming your way with bingo. Like I mentioned, the wildflower birthday class has closed and sold out. The PDF, I just printed it so I can proof everything. Once I look at that and it's good to go, then I will be recording that video for that class, and then I will get that out. So it should be early this week, fingers crossed. It says the 15th of the month, I believe, and that's my goal because I want to get it out by then because I leave town on the 20th. But I think we're way ahead of schedule, and that's going to be coming your way. Hi, everybody. Stacy, thank you for sharing. I appreciate it. Hi, Anna. How are you? Hi, Susan. Hi, Bonnie. So that is coming your way. So I have a new class registration. And before you jump on and register, I want to let you know I have my blog lady. I call her my blog lady. I'm not quite sure what to call her, but she's my my go-to person for my blog and my email and my website, all that stuff, and she helps me with different things, and I'm going to be revamping it a little bit soon. And I added a team page where I can add my PDFs for my team and recordings of team meetings and stuff like that, so I'm really excited to get that going. So we're working on that, but she helped me with a new form. I wanted to give the option when I do classes that you can purchase the kit class only, so just the class with the kits. I wanted you to be able to choose, yes, I want the class for free and I'm going to buy the bundle from you. And so if you click on that button, this is what you are going to see. Let's see, I just posted that. I believe this is it. Okay, so here are the options you're going to see. A class kit only, that will pop up at the $40 fee for this class. Free class, please order the product for me. It's a little over $61 to have it shipped directly to you. Now, what I will tell you is the tax may differ with a few pennies. I went with what my tax was because it seems to be kind of in the middle of the run of other people. If your tax is less and your fee is less than the 61, or if you want to add more product to your order and you're a demonstrator yourself, or you have a demonstrator, then go ahead and click free class. I will order the product myself, which means you're going to order it through me, but you're going to pay your own tax, and it will go on your tax for where it's being shipped. But now that I'm thinking about it, once you put your address in, it will change to your tax. I had to put a flat rate in, so I just chose my own. But then there's the last choice of the downloadable PDF and private video only. Okay, that being said, that is if I already have the video and the PDF attached. It could be attached, but it will go, I will be sending that out later. if I have it attached already and ready to sell, like I will on the birthday list one, it will be the old form. You're not going to probably notice the difference much, except you're just going to have the one option to pay for the PDF and video link, and you'll get your attachments in there. So you're gonna. It might sound kind of confusing, but it's on the back side for me. It looks a lot different. But if you notice it looks a little different, that's why. Hi, Andrea. I hope I get to see you in Raleigh. My daughter does that for her clients. Your virtual assistant. Oh, your daughter does that for her client. Oh, very nice. Hi, Miss Olivia. Hi, Lorraine. Welcome, first timer. I'm excited you're here. Marva, thank you for sharing. I appreciate that. Deb is excited about a sneak peek for the birthday class, so I will sneak peek that. Let me give you a little bit of details about the Meant to Be class. I have already started creating this, and my first two cards are fun fold. I don't know what it is. I'm already into some fancy folds again in another class. But you will get 5 fun projects, and I will explain that a little bit later. But you're going to get 5 projects in this class. It's $40 still. You purchase the bundle from me and the class is free. So you could either purchase through the link when you register. I will order it directly and have it shipped directly to you from Stampin' Up. So as long as product is available, or if there's an issue with that being out of stock or something, we'll discuss the date that it's available and all of that. But we have over a month to get that out. My goal is to get this kit mailed out to you by March 10th, as I leave for on stage right after that. So March 10th is my goal. I will also have this available PDF and video link only. A lot of people from internationally would like to have that. And I've requested a lot about that. So that will be available also. You can purchase it now. It will be sent to you as soon as I have it all done and ready to go to you. So I am really excited about this class. I don't know what it is with me and fancy folds right now, but I am on a fancy fold kick, and my first 2 cards already for that class are fancy folds. So I'm excited. Let's see. Hi, Paula. How are you? Hi, Robin. Hi, Melanie. So let's see. So that's it. So we have bingo, wildflowers done, the Meant to Be. And don't forget the last chance items are still out there. There's some really good things. This week we have some new online exclusive items coming for demonstrators. We get to pre-order some items. So I'm excited about that. And so Wednesday night I will be doing an unboxing as long as I get everything like I should be. And so I know there's a couple things not available yet, but I will have some stuff to show you. So I will be here Wednesday night with the new product that I'm going to be ordering, because I will, of course, overnight it, because, you know, I've got to get my hands on it right away and share it with you. So don't forget that. It is a new month, February. Somebody had asked me about my trip, that I'm trying to earn the incentive trip. And yes, I still am trying to earn it. I have a ways to go, but I am on target, I should say, to get it. Last year, I got it in April, I believe. I was able to achieve it, and my goal is to do that by then again. I always try to beat my last year, so I'm going to try and get it by April, so we'll see. So if you don't have a demonstrator, of course, I would love for you to shop with me, and if I can help you answer any questions, let me know. All right, I think that is it for my stuff. Oh no, one more thing, and I know I've told you guys, we have Donna Gray from Australia and I are together on this Stamp Out the California Wildfires fundraiser. If you would like to donate, there is the QR code right there. And there is a link below. So just click on the More button in the description. And I will quickly just tell you that the money will be donated to Glenn Beck's Mercury 1, which will be donated to the southern wildfires in California. So Donna and I have gotten together, and what we're doing is, as you donate, we are going to put your we can add you to a Facebook page. And if you don't have Facebook, I've been asked this, if you don't have Facebook, you can join Facebook and keep your profile private. You do not have to be out there. Nobody has to know you're on. But you will have to let me know so I can send you an invite to this Facebook page. And what's going to happen at the end of the month is we are going to have, it sounds like 2, maybe 3 days, because I'm going to tell you right now, we have over 30 demonstrators presenting, which is super exciting. And these are fantastic demonstrators. They are donating their time and talent to us. We are all going to go on and have a slot of time to do a video for you. So it's a private viewing for those who donate, just our way to thank you for donating to the cause. And so you will get to go on and you can go rewatch it if you're not available. It's scheduled for February 28th. Mind you, in Australia, the 28th is the 27th for us. So you're going to go to this page on the 27th and see Australian demonstrators demonstrating for us, and possibly some US ones. And then on the 28th, we're going to have more demonstrators. And then if we have to go to the 29th, we will. The page is going to stay up. You can go back and watch all these great videos. And there's going to be a lot of awesome product on there for you to check out. So I hope you will donate and become a part of that fun community, and the gift to you from us for thanking you for your donation. And we really, really do appreciate that a lot. All right, now let's get to business. Love Glenn Beck, yes. What is the next incentive trip? The next one, Andrea, that I'm trying to earn is an Alaskan cruise. So this year is Disney World. Next year is an Alaskan cruise. So really excited about it. I have been on an Alaskan cruise before, but I have to tell you that when it is an incentive trip, it is completely a different experience. It's amazing. Oh, look, I have like a string. I usually cut those off. So they stay on my hanger, but I have felt hangers, and so that my stuff doesn't fall off. Are there any European demos participating? I believe we have asked some. I'd have to go back and look, but I believe yes. I believe so. Don't hold me on it, but we are also looking for demonstrators because we do not mind going past the 2 or 3 days. So if the more we have, we are going to give time slots for everybody to be able to participate. So we have put a lot of feelers out there for people, asking whoever wants to participate that can. You know, there are a few, some are on vacation, some are not at their regular home. They're at their winter home, that they don't have all their product and video equipment and that kind of stuff. And so anyway, we are, it's out there. If anybody would like to participate, we would love to hear from you. So either contact Donna or I, and if you would like to do a video for us, fantastic. All right, so let's get busy now. I think that is about it. So I'm excited. First thing I'm going to show you is a sneak peek, because I've been asked. And this is kind of a, I'm laughing, sneak peek, because it's not really a sneak peek. But this is what you're going to get in the wildflower class if you have participated. That was the wrong thing here. So here you go. This is your sneak peek. Project 1, Project 2, and you'll have an envelope with that one. Project 3, Project 4, notice there's a wobble in there, and Project 5. And that is all I'm going to show you. So that is it. Lots of fun in this kit. I cannot wait to show you. So today's card, again, I did another fancy fold. I was just having so much fun. I wanted to do a lot of the coral and the leaves, and I was trying to figure out how am I going to do this when I had the card this way. And so then I thought, okay, you know what? I'm going to turn it, and then I'm going to make it a fancy fold, because I got to put the little crab in there too. And then we had some room for writing. And so I added some glimmer. I did not put glimmer here. This is the writing page. You don't really see it as a card. You could if you wanted to, but I chose not to, and I think it's fine. But anyway, I'm going to show you what we're going to do with that card and get that started. So let me just put that there so you can see it. We're going to bring in my my grid sheet here. I'm going to turn this over because it's got brown, and I'll turn it back over when I do the brown. So let me show you what we're using. We're using Ocean Friends. And I have to say, when I first saw this set, I was like, that's cute, but I have some C sets. I really don't need it, but I do love the bubbles, even though I didn't use them this time. I love the sentiments, and you can never go wrong with some coral and some leaves. And I did a couple different things with this that I'll show you. And the little starfish. So I thought, you know what? But then I saw the paper, and I was like, all right, I have to have this because this is such happy paper that I thought it was so much fun. And so this is where I got my, no, this is what I colored. I colored these. Not, but look how beautiful they are. You don't need to color them. They're so cute off of this paper that it looked like it. In fact, I saw some online and I said, oh my gosh, their cards are so cute and the coloring is so great. And I forgot that we had the die cuts in here. So, and what I like is, so see, this one has the pink and the orange, but this one is just the different shades of the pinks. This one has a little bit of the pink and orange, and this one has a little more of the orange and more peachy kind of, I think it's Flirty Flamingo maybe, I don't remember. Berry Burst, Calypso Coral, Lemon Lime Twist, Mellow Mamba, Pumpkin Pie, and Summer Splash. So I always look at that when I go to try out and do some colors. Then the other item is I got my glimmer paper, the one with the Berry Burst in it. And it is Berry Burst Old Olive and White. So that's where I got the glimmer paper, because of course I wanted it to match. So here is the kit and our pieces, and we're going to do a little bit of some blending. Let's go ahead and start with our base and our inside. So I'm going to put this away. It's going to have measurements there. All right. All right. So, oh, I wonder if I did my base. I better look. Okay. So we have our card that's going to cut like this, right? So we're going to cut it the long way. All right. And then we're going to score it across like normal at 5.5. So it's 4 1/4 by 11, and then scored in the middle. And then you're going to score it also at 2 3/4, which is half of this, so that your card is going to go like this. Okay. So make sure you score this really well. And I have to tell you, because look how this is. I put a lot of layering on here. Okay. So you have 2 layers here, you have layers here, you have layers here. So it's going to close in your envelope fine, but then it's really going to pop up and sit up perfectly because it's kind of thick because I have a lot of product. So just make sure that you go ahead, and I'd like to just double, triple, make sure that this lines up pretty good. I think I did it with a trimmer instead of the scoreboard, which is my bad, because I want to make sure that this is, all right, hold on here. There we go. I like to hold it here, and then I just bring that in, and it's going to go out just a tiny bit. That's all right. All right, so there's your piece right here like that. All right, and then on the inside here, so this is our inside. We're going to take, and we're going to do the 4 1/8 by 5 3/8, which is usually my bottom layer of a panel. And then we're going to do 4 by 5 1/4. Okay, those are our layers there. So let's start with that, and we're going to use our glue. All right, so there's our first 2 layers, and we're going to take our glue, and I like to do glue on top of glitter or an embossed piece just so I make sure that it is all, it soaks into here and then holds it. Otherwise, I think the seal probably doesn't hold quite as well on glimmer or an embossed piece. So we're just gonna, and I like to rub the glue because I don't like to have those glue marks, so I like to really rub it in, even if it's on white paper. I just like to rub it in, make sure it's on there well. The next layer, what we're going to do is I took this page, and now I'm hoping I have this piece in here to show you where it came from. But I had made a few, so give me a second so I can pull it out for you. All right, so this is the paper that I used, okay? So what I did when I cut this is I wanted these fun colors right here. So because this is only 3.5 by 4 3/4, so 3.5 right here. If you take off 3 and 3, that leaves 6 in the middle. And so you can kind of, you know, adjust what colors you want. You can also just cut this at 4 3/4, and then, you know, just kind of be like, okay, I want to make sure I have this much of the orange. You're going to measure that and see, okay, how much of the pink do you have? And you may need to adjust it to get the colors you wanted. Well, I wanted all 3 of the colors. So that's where you kind of decide where you're going to cut. And then this is what's on the other side. Okay. So there is that. Let me turn off. My husband is in the other room, so he's sending me reels. I started sending him reels a few months ago, and it was so funny because he continues to now send them to me all the time. All right, so what we're going to do is we are going to, don't adhere these yet, but here are the measurements. So we have 3 5/8 by 4 7/8. And then this is 3.5 by 4 3/4. Okay. But we're not going to adhere those quite yet. So let's just set that aside. We can actually, let's go ahead and adhere this on the inside of a card. We could do that. I like to adhere to the card as we go. If I'm done with this panel and there's no reason that I need to not have it, hello. Oh, my tape is wonky on that one. Then I like to just adhere it. And that way. Now, I don't like to adhere it when on white like this because I can't see it as well. Remember, I like to put this underneath because now I can see the edges really well. We did, Betty. It was a beautiful day today. My daughter-in-law came from Montana and she said, "Oh, it's hot here." And I'm like, well, I wouldn't say hot, but it was beautiful today. It was sunny and warm. It was absolutely beautiful. Okay, so somebody had just mentioned, let me look. I never get my layers on straight. Okay, so what I do is I hold mine on the edge and I put my fingers all underneath. And then I lay these fingers on the paper. Okay, then I slowly kind of go down to where I just have these fingers underneath. And I just look side to side. And I mostly look, as long as I'm within the edge over here, then I look here to see what it looks like and if it looks okay. And I think it's fine. If I need to adjust, I still can because my tape is mostly around the outside and not in the center. And so I can just kind of put it down and I can still wiggle it around right to about where I want it. Even though I did put a little strip of tape on the inside there, and then I am good. As long as I can see the edges that look, especially these 3. You really can't see this one, but you want to make sure it's inside your fold because otherwise it's not going to fold. Okay. Okay, so there we go. And so there's that first layer. So we're going to set that one aside. The next thing I did is I did our coral. So let's bring our coral in. Oh, you know what? Let's go ahead and layer up these pieces. We can do this piece, which is right here. So here is our sentiment piece. Okay, so I have 2 5/8 and 4/8 and a 2.5 by 4. We're just going to put those right on top of each other. Oh, I just filled these all up, so now they're kind of wonky. All right, so same thing. I put my hands on the side, and then I go down And notice I don't have to put the dark piece underneath because my paper is dark. And now I want white underneath so I can see the edges. Okay. I notice right here though, this was right before I switched my blade. So I want to trim that little piece there. Okay, we're going to add that in. And now this piece, which is the same, 2 5/8 and 4/8, 2.5 by 4. We're going to go ahead and layer these up. So this is the same. So we're looking at this panel and this panel. Okay, so let's go ahead and we are going to add glue on this one. And glue is even easier to wiggle around, but remember it does stick pretty quickly. And we're just going to add glue because we're playing with our glimmer paper. The same thing. Now you have room to wiggle it back and forth. So I'm going to look over here. That looks good. That looks good. Top and bottom look fine. So then I'm good with that. All right. And now we're going to add these two to our card base. We don't need to wait. So we'll add those on. Now, one thing I do when I'm doing mass production of things is I will adhere all these and make a pile. I will adhere all these, make a pile, and then I will put this one on and just do all the cards with this and then go to the next one. That way, you know which panel it goes on. You don't get confused. You don't say, oh man, that should have been on the right. Put the wrong one on the wrong side or measure it wrong or whatever. Your mind is focused just on this right here. And now this one, DSP, goes over here. I'm going to go ahead and put that on. And this paper is so much fun. The fun part is picking out what you want to use for what. And I thought this was really cute to use the starfish paper and then add the 3 little starfish there that go with it. All right, we're just going to put that right here. Again, looking at all the outside lines right here. And if you need to move it up, you can just slightly, but make sure you have it in on that side, and I do. So that's good. All right, so we're going to set that aside. All right, now we're going to bring in our pieces here. So here's our dies. All right, here's my sentiment and another sentiment. We'll set that aside. So I'm going to use these 2 guys this time. All right, and move those over there. Now there's a couple things I'm going to show you. First though, let's use, there's our coral. So we're going to blend that and our seaweed. And here are the pieces that I used with this. And I'm going to show you about that in a minute and tell you how I did it and show you why I did it the way I did. But let's do a little bit of blending first. So we are going to take this piece and we are going to use our Calypso, or no, our pumpkin pie. I think that was our color. I'm going to look because now I think this had both colors in it. Pumpkin pie and Calypso coral. I did pumpkin pie on this one, but I think I'm going to do Calypso coral this time. Let's see which one we like the best. Snowing right here. I guess we'll be doing a lot of shoveling tomorrow. Oh, bummer. All right, let's put this on here so it doesn't slide. All right, so we're gonna get our coral and I'm gonna kind of start it off because it's pretty wet. My coral is very wet. I don't use it as much as I do the pumpkin. So I'm gonna just pull that off a little bit. And now I'm gonna just, I don't want to bend up all my little coral pieces. So we're just gonna kind of, and I'm kind of rounding a little bit as I go because I don't want streaks on it either. All right, so I think that is good. I want to do a little darker on the ends. And let's turn it. And then just kind of come on. And down here you can round it a little easier because you don't have all these little tips and I'm holding them down. Except see how it's bending right there, which that's going to kind of be under. It's not that big of a deal. But just kind of get it the color you want it. I want mine a little darker. My poor granddaughter, she's in a cheer competition and She was sad yesterday. She's been doing competition every Saturday for the past like month and a half. And she's sad because they were just downgraded, not downgraded, but switched over to a small team because somebody hurt themselves. She hurt her knee, and so she can't cheer. And so now there's nobody in their division. It's on the small division. There's nobody there. So they get first place in their division no matter what. And today was the first day of that. And they've been getting first all along. And so she's sad. And I said, well, you can't be sad because it could have been you that got hurt. And, you know, you don't want people to be upset or sad because now you're not in your same category. She's only, well, she's going to be a 10 this month. So anyway, she's kind of bummed. Okay, so there we go. That's coral, which I think is really pretty. Look at that. That was pumpkin pie, and this is coral. You can't see it as much on screen, but trust me, the coral is the way to go. Calypso coral, very, very pretty. All right, now we're going to bring in our lemon lime twist. And I'm going to move this over. We're going to go with this one right here. And I don't like to blend on top of other colors because you tend to pick them up and then it's not as easily done. I'm going to use this, my little one, and we're going to bring these in. It kind of picks up and you don't want orange in your green. All right, so we're going to start this. Okay, and then I like to start in the middle because I don't want to bend anything. And just kind of, you can do the circular motion until you get to the end. You want to be really careful not to bend that little piece there. And I'm going to show you a little trick I did with this. All right, so now we're going to go to the end. And it just looks kind of plain, right? It's lemon lime twist. So we're going to move those to the side. Make sure you're doing the right side because that would make it a lot easier. So I'm doing it this way, but I want to come back this way too because I want those grooves to get the right color on both sides. And now I'm going to go outward. Now, I like to do the coloring much better on white, as I've said before, on the white versus on lemon lime twist, because that's just such a dark, I mean, all of the colors would be so dark that it's just not as bright and airy looking when you color them. I think coloring them really, really makes a difference. So I use a lot of white paper because I would prefer my images be in white and either color them or stamp them, watercolor them, pencils, whatever, alcohol markers. I just like adding color to the white versus using color cardstock. I don't always, sometimes I use the color, it just depends, but I'd much rather do it this way. Okay, so I thought those were kind of plain and needed something. So I brought in the color that's in the card is Summer Splash. And we brought that in. We're going to bring that in and do our little starfish. But I decided on the green versus green, I brought in Shy Shamrock just to add a little bit of color. So I changed this out and I went more with my green blend. All right. And I just kind of went over it a little bit. Okay, not a whole lot, just mainly get the edges and the tips a little to add a little bit of color. I don't want to take the brightness away, but I wanted to add a little dimension. All right, so there's that. And then I'm going to do a little more up here. All right, so you're just adding a little more color. I'm going to add a little more right here. There we go. Add a little more color and dimension by adding just another little bit of color to it. So it depends on what your base color is. Even if it's like Old Olive, Mossy Meadows, perfect to do it. Even bringing in Pretty Peacock sometimes is a really good color. Just depends on what your colors are. All right, so there we go. We have our leaves. Now we're going to bring in our starfish. And now I'm thinking, did I cut the starfish? Because I do not see them. I do not think I did, so let me grab those really quick. Must have them. How could I forget our little starfish? All right, so here's our starfish. All right, there they are. All right, so now you could do alcohol markers if you wanted at this point, but I didn't. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do coral instead of pumpkin again because I really liked the coral. And I'm going to bring that in for one of our little starfish, but you want to take your pokey tool and hold them because they're so tiny. So I'm going to come back in where my coral is right here. Okay, and I'm just going to hold it and just go right over. I want them kind of dark because they're going to be the paper in the background, the DSP is kind of dark and vibrant. So I want to do dark and vibrant, but I don't have to make it, you don't have to saturate it. It's just, there we go, quick and easy. All right, so that was our orange one. Now we're going to do our berry burst. And I'm okay bringing the berry burst over here on this edge. Except, there it is. So let's do our berry burst. And I have this one. Let's take another starfish over here. Uh-oh, I got to make sure it's right side up, which it wasn't. Okay. Oh. Here we go. Right side up. And just come in, get it nice and dark. I'm going to turn it so I can get that white spot where my pokey tool was, all colored. All right, so there we go. So there's that one. So cute. And then I think I'm going to still use this page here, and we're going to do our summer splash. And summer splash. Hi Lynette, how are you? All right, so summer splash. Here's my little guy right here. Hold on to it. I just push it down. And I'm gonna get him nice and dark because this is kind of a lighter color. I want to make sure I get a good amount of color on it so it's nice and vibrant like the others. And I think that's good. There we go. So there's our little starfish. And you'll see they match. They'll match the DSP. All right, the next thing we're going to do is I need to bring in Crumb Cake and Pool Party. All right, so here is your, okay, let me move those off. Here's your die for your water. So what I did is I had a big piece of paper and I did it where I did the image up, okay? So you want the bumps to go up. That's how I did it. So you want to keep it the same way. So I did a small piece. Measurements doesn't matter. Whatever you end up liking, you can change it up. So whatever works for you. So I just did a small piece and I did a couple so I can figure it out because then I thought, oh, I need water. So this one, I did the same. This one I did larger. Okay. So my thought is I'm going to do this one and this one. Now do these line up? Not quite. I was too far over. So I think that's why I redid this one. So let's see which one this one goes with. This one's fine. You're going to do the shorter one under and that's going to be your white. So you've seen me do water before with the blue and the crumb cake, or the blue and the white water to make your water. So just find your pieces that line up. I think it's these two. Okay, so these line up pretty good. And you're going to cut off a little bit anyway, so don't worry about it. So those line up pretty good. So what we're going to do is we're going to move those aside. I'm going to take the top one here, and that is going to be my water. Okay, so we're going to bring this back in, and I'm going to do my water over here where the blue's at. And we're going to use Pool Party. And I'm going to use, I don't have color. I mean, I have some of them marked and then I decided not to. So like I have this one, which is more like for Pool Party and like lighter colors. And then this one is more Pretty Peacock, maybe Lost Lagoon, darker colors. And then I have regular blue. So then I have this one, a small one, and that's Pretty Peacock. And then I have blue. So I don't really write on them. I just kind of pick one that's about the same, because once you wipe them off, it really doesn't matter that much. So I'm going to get Pool Party, and we're just going to lightly go over and make some water. Doesn't have to be super dark. It's definitely going to be, you want to be able to tell it's, you know, a bluishy green color, which is why I like Pool Party. And it also goes really well with these colors. If you wanted to just use Balmy Blue, you can, but I really liked how this kind of went with the colors, okay? And now, when you add your water behind it, so this looks like your water, and then that looks like the foam of your water, right? So those two are going to glue together. Then this one, I'm going to bring back on top of my brown here. And we are going to do our crumb cake, and that's going to be kind of like the sand. And you can't see it that well, but when you get the card, you can see it. So I decided I'm going to do that. So I'm going to find my brown, which is this one. This one I did have, one of my first ones I did write on. So I'm going to ink it up, and we're just going to do some brown. I like crumb cake because it's nice and light. It's not like early espresso or pecan pie. It's just a nice light brown. All right, I'm going to turn it. Now you always want to remember when you're coloring like this, you don't want to have oils or anything on your hand. As I'm saying that, I put lotion on before this, but it's usually, I'm really picky about my lotions because of my card making, so it should be okay. But otherwise your ink just doesn't blend as nicely as it should if you get spots, finger spots on your project. All right, I'm going to do just a little darker because I want to see it in the background. I do a little more over here. All right, and I think that's good. You don't have to have a whole bunch on there. I just like to have a little bit of a change. All right. Now let's go ahead and layer up our water. And that's where this piece is going to come in, okay? So again, the panel that's going to go on top right here, this panel right here, is going to be 3.5 by 4 3/4. And then this one's 3 5/8 by 4 7/8. All right. And these are going to layer up on top of each other, but we want to put our images first. Okay, so if you're going to put your your sand here. So if you look at this and you hold this over here, it's a little longer than this one, but it really doesn't matter. But if I wanted to, I could cut off a little bit. So I think I will cut off just like 1/8 of an inch. Like I said, there's no measuring. What I do is I just kind of put it right up to the project and just kind of see, you know, if it comes up too high, I know I'm going to cut a little bit off, which is fine right here. This does not have to match up with your water. It's your sand. You could even, you know, do it like this, like a flat line there if you wanted. But I kind of liked this with a little bit of character to it there. This is going to go straight down. This is a fancy card. I didn't go all the way to the end because I did it too long already. We're going to add that right on here, which is why you don't want to add this to your panel yet. Okay, because you want to be able to cut it. Now, let's do our water. We're going to add our water and our the white foam together. So let's do that. And I just kind of go right below it. All right. You want to go down a ways because you want to see the foam. And we're going to cut some edges off anyway. This is going to go over both ways, but we're going to pop it up on dimensionals. Now the secret to this is when you do this on dimensionals, you want to put the dimensionals towards the bottom, because we're going to be tucking in our seaweed and our coral. So we're going to put this close to the side. Ooh, you know what? We're going to put this right here on the bottom. Just like that. And we can put this one over here on the bottom. Okay? Because if you put them on here, you don't know exactly where you're going to cut, right? But you know that you're going to cut, and you want this to go on the bottom here. Because remember, your white, you slid it up a little bit. So you want to make sure that you get that. The other thing we're going to do is add one more in the middle. And we could do it right here on here. Doesn't have to be on this. All right, we're going to pull this off. And now we're going to do a little bit on both sides outward. But I'm going to bring it closer to me because I want this to be flat on the bottom, and I want this to also go flat on the bottom. So we're going to go right up to here and here. Okay. But now we're hanging off on both sides, which is good. So turn it over and just cut. All right. So there's that one. And on that one. All right, so there we go. So we have our sand and our beach right there. And now we can go ahead and adhere this onto our glimmer. Again, I try to squeeze out a little more than I normally would because I want it to kind of soak into that glitter. We don't need that right now. Look how pretty that looks. Looks like a fun, like a sunset. All right. And now I notice I have a little more here than here, so I just kind of bend my paper and then hold this to where this bends down a little bit. All right, there we go. All right, now we're going to add our coral. And see, now our coral can kind of tuck in there because our dimensional is here and here, but they're all the way on the bottom. So it's going to give you some space to tuck it in, but we're going to pop it up. So let's get our dimensionals. And I cut some halves of the mini dimensionals. So I'm going to put one here. And let's see, where are my other halves? Here we go. I'm going to put one right here. And I'm going to, come up here and put a half. Oh, I grabbed the top and not the dimensional. And then, so the two long ones are the ones that you have to worry about the most. All right, I'm going to put that one. All right, and then I'm going to put one of the larger ones down here. And it's okay that it kind of, you know, doesn't cover exactly, and you can see it right here on the other side because you're going to be tucking that in, but you want it to hold. So I'm going to take off the tops of these. We're going to start with adding our coral first. Okay, so there we go. Now you want to make sure, I went a little off on the last one where my coral was hanging out. So I'm going to slide that under and move it over a tad so my coral is pretty much on my card. Okay, so there's our coral. Now let's do our pieces here. And I added one down and one towards the top was plenty. This one I just added, I kind of look at it and see like this one has a little more color, so I'm going to put that at the top. So this is going to go about right there. All right, so now on this one, I went right behind here. Okay, you want it in the water, so don't put it behind the sand, make sure. And then I had this come up just like here, and I just had it stick wherever. This is already stuck down, so this is sticking to this, and that's fine. Okay, just make sure it's kind of down there. Then I took another large one. Thanks, Marva. I'm glad you liked the card. All right, I wanted the little bit more green to come up. So I'm going to go behind this guy and just slide down in as much as I can. Tricky little guy. I feel like it's going behind the sand, so just gotta get it right above the sand. There we go. Above the sand. All right. And then there. Now I decided, because I remember now when I pulled that up, I needed another little tiny dimensional right there. So I just cut one of these little tiny squares right here, so it doesn't go flying anywhere. And I added it to lay it down because I have to lift it up to get that leaf in where I want it. So I'm going to put this right there. Okay? Yep. And then this one we're going to go right here and slide it in. And just put it there. So just kind of cluster them, whatever you think looks good for you. And then on our little starfish, I'm going to put them on in the water. So let's do our first one, which I'm going to pick up this one here. All right, and then I'm going to do one right here. And then we'll do another one like right up here. Okay, so there's that. All right, now we need, I used Summer Splash, and we're going to do our sentiments. So I'm going to set that aside for right now. Let's bring our sentiments in. And we have 2. We have hello friend. And what I like to do is I like to bring in my mat. We'll just do it right on top of here. And I like to stamp it off just to make sure it's stamping okay. Well, let me grab my little chamois here. I'm going to wipe it off first because it's been sitting here for a bit. There we go. Okay. Ink it up. All right, so there's our hello friend. And then the next one says, thanks so much. So you're giving this card to somebody and you're thanking them, but it's to a friend. All right, so now we have, oops, thanks so much. And these are, this label here that I'm using now is from Mixed Labels, and this one is from the Hibiscus set. So this one has like the little stitching on the edge there, and then this one has the little decorative stitching on it there. All right, so we have those now. And now we just have to put the rest together. We're going to take this panel and add our dimensionals to it. All right, so let's put our panel on. How pretty that is. All right, so now I just hold it and kind of hover over until I see right about where I want it. And then drop it. Now we got to bring our little crab guy in. We're going to put dimensionals, excuse me, on him. So we're going to put 2 there, and then what I do is I bring in the small ones. Because this is DSP, I just want to make sure he's secure. I'm going to put one there. I love scene cards. I love to make scenes. So anything like this that can make a little scene. But because it's so colorful, it makes sense that this little guy is holding our sentiment, right? So we're going to, remember, he's already inside our, inside the card base already. So but I want him kind of walking out of the water. All right. Now, the next thing I did, and I could have done it before, but I did this after the fact earlier also, is I cut right where his little claws are. I just went right down where his claws are, between his fingers and his thumb, because we're going to add our dimensionals here, right on the edges like this. And then we're going to have him hold our sign. So we're going to put it in his thumb right here. Oh, I got to trim that right there. Because his little his little thumb is looking sharp right there because of the way it's cut. Okay. Now, we're going to go right in here and right in here like he's holding our sign. So there he is holding our sign. And now we're going to come to the front. And what I did is I'm just going to hold it down there. We're going to do our hello friend. We need our we're going to use our peach coral lobster here. And I'm going to move the dimensionals down a little bit because we're going to be cutting his claws also. And I'm going to put one right here. And I'm going to put one here. And I think I did one on his tail too. All right. And you can add 2 small ones on the sides if you feel the need. Okay. So what I'm going to do is take this off. If you guys could give me a thumbs up, I would really appreciate it. Helps my YouTube channel so much. All right, so now we've got this guy. And now we actually are going to cut out the white part. So I'm just going to come right in here and go right down the side and then right down this side. And just cut out just this little bit right here, okay, to open up his claw. Same on this side. And I just kind of curve it in so it looks kind of natural, like it was supposed to be that way, but you're going to have his little sign right there anyway. All right. All right, so we're going to put him on the front, and I did his tail pretty much towards the bottom. And I'm just going to lay him lightly because we need to make sure our sign will fit. So depending on whatever size of the sign that you're doing, and I'm going to do one in the middle, but up towards the top so we have room for his claws. Because it just looks fun, like they're holding the signs up. All right, and so what I did is I went under his antenna, but inside his claw there, and then inside his claw over here, because you can still see that it says hello friend. Oops, we want it in his thumb and in his thumb. There we go. Okay, so you want to put, did you see when I put the dimensional on, I put it like about here, because you know that's going to kind of hang over. But you don't want it hanging over here because you want to make sure it's going to fit inside the envelope. Okay, so now you've got him, his little thumbs are behind holding the sentiment, and then his little thumbs are on top of, and we've got this writing panel here. Now if you wanted to, you could add another scene here, maybe some more water, maybe a more greenery or whatever, and then you could always do the panel on the back to sign. But I thought it was really fun just to do a little one right here because it sets up so nicely, and it's really a great card, a great fancy fold to be able to see everything like that. So there we go. So this is coral, which I really like a lot better than the pumpkin pie. And I did both of these the same, mainly because there was a lot of coral over here, so I wanted to do pink, a pink kind of color to it just looks a little better. But I do like the coral on the front. It just kind of ties it all in, but it really doesn't matter because this just ties it in with the paper. So both of them are really fun. So pick out whatever colors, works for you. Although the sweet is not for me. I love how your little critters are holding the sentiments. Thanks. Yeah, like I said, I wasn't going to get it, but the paper was so fun. And it's got a lot of great, the reverse side. Let me show you the reverse side really quickly, because the reverse side has a lot of fun paper. And you know what I was thinking of is that television set. To just do some fun colors on the reverse sides. And I mean, there's a lot of sets that I think this would be fun with. Just doing the reverse on the other side. So there's a lot of, and I love the colors. So I think that would just be really fun to do the reverse. And sometimes you just want a subtle DSP that you just can't find. Did you forget the embellishment? Deborah, I sure did. So what I used, thank you, is the Sunny Day iridescent dots that come with it. And what I thought is I'm going to make it look like water over here, like bubbles. Even though we have bubbles in the stamp set, so I could have just stamped the little bubbles. But I decided I went with the larger one first and did one here. And this one is a little more crowded than the other one was, but I still think you can add all three right here, like little bubbles. And then on the front here, I did, let's see, I did a large one down here, and I added a little one up here. So there we go. So I made them look like bubbles. And this is, again, the Sunny Day iridescent dots, which go with this set. So fun. Thanks for reminding me about the embellishments. That's like the funnest part is, you know, you're done. How do I want to finish the card? And so that's what I did. So I had more room here. And it's just a matter of where I put my, you know, my pieces. Like this one went over more that way, and it was probably down a little farther. So, you know, just kind of think of those things when you're putting it together, like where do you want your embellishments to be? Yay! I'm glad you guys liked the card. It was so much fun to do. These are so colorful and fun. I think my grandkids are going to love these. But it's also great for just, hey, friend, thanks. You could also put a little pocket here to add a gift card. Let me see. Let's see what I have. Of course, a Tommy Bahama gift card. Well, that one has a number on it. Let's try to use something that, here we go, Starbucks. Thank you. Perfect. Make a little pocket right there. And it could be, hey, friend, you know, hello, friend, thanks. Look how cute. And it could be a little surprise. And then you can add your panel in the back if you wanted for writing. So that is a really fun, great way to do a gift card too, if you needed to do a gift card. Also, I was looking at the water right here, and I was thinking, oh, wait, you could probably tuck that back there. Oh, never mind. That's just too busy. But anyway, thanks for joining me today. It was really fun creating this card for you. Don't forget, Wednesday, I'm going to be doing unboxing of whatever products are available. I know they're still waiting for a few products, so fingers crossed. Tomorrow they get there because I will be ordering tomorrow night. So if you are a demonstrator, we get to order our pre-order stuff. And if you're not a demonstrator, now is a perfect time to join because you get to do the pre-order. And let me tell you, this is the best time. Because if you join now, let's see, it's February. So you'll have February and March to be, your sales will go towards your first official quarter, which is next quarter. And so you'll have these 2 months plus all of next quarter to meet your first quota. And then that would be April, May, and June would be your first official quarter. July would be your grace period. So not only would you get the online exclusives and the kit pre-orders early, you're going to also get the main large catalog that comes out in May. You'll get to pre-order that, and you'll still be a demonstrator, even if you don't reach your $300. A lot of people join and think, I'm not going to make it, or they don't join because they don't think they'll be able to make their quota. And it's easier than you think. And just share what you love to do, and you'll be surprised. Share. You get the website free for the beginning, so you can share that with people too. And you never know, you might get some customers to help you make your quota, and you'll get to pre-order the new main catalog. I mean, there's so many reasons to join now. Give it a try. If it doesn't work, if you decide it's not for you, you'll just drop off and stay a customer. So there's no really loss. It is a fantastic way to give it a try and see if it's for you. If you have any questions, let me know. When will the new products be available to customers? February, I think it's March, the first week in March. Usually demonstrators get it a month ahead, and we get to pre-order Don't quote me on that because online exclusives get kind of tricky. Sometimes we get it at the same time they come out. And so now I'm beginning to question myself, but I will post it below. I'll go look it up right now, and I'll let you know. And because last time I think we got to order the same time it was available to customers. So I will go double check, but I think that this is a pre-order. But I will double check it out. I will list it below because I'm not sure off the top of my head. But usually the demonstrators get to order a month ahead so that we can get the item and kind of share it with you and show you what's coming. And so you can kind of see what you like and, you know, what's for you and what's not for you, so that you can, and we can get a head start on classes or videos or whatever to be able to share with our customers. So, all right, everybody, have a fantastic week. I hope to see you on Wednesday with some new product. Yay! And so I will see you soon. Have a fantastic week, and we'll see you then. Bye, everybody.